Good morning, kids! Come and join me as we learn English 2, Quarter 1, Week 8. Elements of a story. Theme, setting, characters, and events. You are expected to identify the elements of a story and differentiate each element based on its features. Do you like or enjoy reading or storytelling? You would have noticed that stories have 4 basic elements such as theme, settings, characters, and events. The theme is the main idea, could be a lesson or moral reflected in the story. The setting is the place and time where and when the story happens. Characters are the people, animals, or entities involved in the story. Events are the series or sequence of events, beginning, middle, ending. Let us now try Learning Task 1. Read the statements below. Write your answers in your notebook. For number 1, it tells the happening, occurrences of the story in a logical order. A. Settings. B. Characters. C. Theme. And D. Events. And the correct answer is letter D, events. Number 2, it refers not only to the physical location but also the time the action takes place. A. Setting. B. Introduction. C. Protagonist. And letter D. Falling action. And the correct answer, letter A, setting. Number 3, it refers to any person, animal, or figure represented in a literary work. A. Setting. B. Plot. C. Character. And letter D. Theme. And the correct answer is letter C, character. For number 4, it is the part of the story that usually sets where the problem is resolved. A. Beginning. B. Middle. C. Ending. And D. Settings. And the correct answer is letter C, ending. And for the last number, which of the following elements pertains to the lesson or moral in the story? A. Events. B. Theme. C. Character. And D. Setting. And the correct answer is letter B, theme. And now, let us read the story, The Ants and the Grasshopper by Aesop. One bright day in late autumn, a family of ants were bustling about in the warm sunshine, drying out the grain they had stored up during the summer. When a starving grasshopper, his fiddle under his arm, came up and humbly begged for a bite to eat. "What?" cried the ants in surprise. "Haven't you stored anything away for the winter? What in the world were you doing all last summer?" "I didn't have time to store up any food," whined the grasshopper. "I was so busy making music that before I knew it, the summer was gone." The ants shrugged their shoulders in disgust. "Making music, were you?" they cried. "Very well, now dance." And they turned their backs on the grasshopper and went on with their work. Did you like the story, kids? And now let us answer the learning task number 2. From the story entitled The Ants and the Grasshopper, copy and complete the graphic organizer below in your notebook. And here is the graphic organizer. In this task, you are going to write the theme, the characters, the setting, and the events of the story. And here are the sample answers. For the theme, work today for what you will need tomorrow. And the characters, ants and grasshopper. For the setting, the place, field, and time, late autumn. For the events, the beginning, ants were drying out the grain they had stored up during the summer. For the middle, the ant asked the grasshopper on what he was doing all last summer. And for the ending, the ant was disgusted and turned their backs on the grasshopper and went on with their work. For the learning task 3, draw a circle if you agree with the statement and a square if you don't. Write your answers in your notebook. Number 1, reading stories will teach us lessons in life. And the correct answer is circle. For number 2, characters' actions do not affect the development of the events. And the correct answer is square. For number 3, the setting shows us the place and the time in the story. And the correct answer is circle. For number 4, characters are usually introduced at the beginning of the story. The correct answer is circle. And for number 5, problems in stories are usually solved at the beginning part. And the correct answer is square. Learning task number 4. Using the story The Ants and the Grasshopper, write the events in their correct sequence. Use the guide below. Write your answers in your notebook. And here is your guide. Event 1, Event 2, and Event 3. Here are the sample answers. For Event 1, ants were drying out the grain they had stored up during the summer. For Event 2, the ant asked the grasshopper on what he was doing all last summer. And for Event 3, the ant was disgusted and turned their backs on the grasshopper and went on with their work. Learning task number 5. Study and complete the word puzzle. Write your answers in your notebook. And here are the puzzles. The correct answer for number 1, theme. For number 2, setting. Number 3, characters. And number 4, events. Until next time, kids!